Hello friends, I graduated. That feels so crazy to say because I started this YouTube channel 5 years ago wanting to just document my journey, and we finally made it. I feel like I keep saying we because I couldn't have done it alone. My friends, my family, you guys low-key got me through, and I can't believe it's done. Like, I still can't believe I'm a Waterloo alumni. The 5 years were really tough. They were not easy at all, with co-op search and then a lot of schoolwork, a lot of doubt, anxiety, having a rough term, doing ACL surgery. There's a lot that happened, but I also feel like it built a lot of character. It is nerve-wracking about thinking about the future and not being a student anymore, not knowing if I'll ever go back to school. That could have been my last graduation of my life. I didn't graduate from high school because of COVID, so this was like my first graduation in over 8 years. So it was really nice to just end a chapter on such a high note with my friends, my family, just being in Waterloo for maybe the last time in a while. I'm gonna be talking about my 4B term and I guess just like how I feel graduating, what's next. I feel like first I just wanted to like point out what it was like documenting my journey on YouTube and the highs and the lows that came with that, just because it was such a big part of my university journey. I got to document it here on YouTube from my first term before I went to Waterloo, my acceptance, and then going to Waterloo, documenting every single term, doing a recap. I think my highlight has definitely been the people that I got to meet through this channel. Just having first years or people come up to me and be like, your YouTube videos really helped, made it all worth it. And if you met me in person, you know I'm a little awkward. Some people do not expect that. They think I'm an extrovert, but I'm such an introvert. I am low-key so awkward sometimes, especially when like I get caught off guard and someone comes up to me and they're like, oh, like I watched your YouTube videos. So I'm like, oh, I don't know what to say sometimes. So yeah, thank you for those who were patient with me and bared with my awkwardness. But yeah, I'm very thankful that I got to document my journey here on YouTube and share it with you guys. I have not watched my YouTube videos after I post it. Like, that is something that I've never done because I know if I go through it again, I'm just gonna cringe and want to delete it from the face of internet. So I have not watched my videos, but I do feel like I've become a better speaker. That's one thing that I do think that these videos have helped me with. Also, second thing is that some of you may have noticed, but I kind of went ghost for 4 or 5 months after coming back from California after my 8-month internship in the States. So I came back in end of December and I kind of just wanted to disappear from social media. Like, I came back with so many ideas for things I wanted to film, podcast videos, so many ideas, and when I came back to Toronto, I don't know what happened. I still am trying to figure that out, but I kind of just went like blank, like creativity wise, social wise, motivation wise, like every single aspect of my life. I just felt very unmotivated, and especially with my last term of school. And I decided to do it at home. Like, I didn't do it at Waterloo because, like I mentioned, I had so many ideas for what I wanted to do with that time. And like, I wanted to be with my family for my last term, just because I am gonna move away. I decided to stay at home, and low-key that was a very bad decision. I do not recommend you staying at home unless if you're doing like a co-op on the side as well. But I just had 4 courses left. They were all online. They were low-key very boring. I'm not even going to talk about my 4B recap in terms of courses because it was 4 board classes, very chill term. I didn't like any one of them. They were just like easy classes I just wanted to finish my degree with because like I mentioned, I had other ideas. But you know when you plan for stuff so hard and then nothing goes to plan? That's exactly what happened, and it took a toll on me. Like, I was like, yo, what is my purpose? Like, what am I trying to do? What is everything? Like, what is everything, literally? And I isolated myself a lot, so I didn't see my friends as much as I wanted to, and I didn't really want to make plans. I didn't want to go out, and it took a toll on my mental health, and that's why I kind of like privated all my videos and deleted like my Instagram for a while, deleted my TikTok videos, like I just went ghost, and I needed that space to really come back with intention and purpose. That's why I think I realized is like, who am I really posting for? Like, why am I posting so much videos? Or like, why am I doing the things I'm doing? That's what I came to think about a lot. And I think with these videos, I want to kind of give back to the community in ways that I couldn't, especially with like not being on campus last term, giving up on Wix last term. I wanted to be on Wix last term, but because I was at home, I kind of said no. And for those of you who don't know, Wix is Women in Computer Science, and that was a huge part of my undergrad experience. That's where I met like a lot of my girlfriends. I got a lot of advice. It was a really special part of my undergrad experience, and for my last term, like I mentioned, I kind of just went like blank. And for those of you who also know, my video about Waterloo Do Better, I don't know if you guys saw that. It kind of went viral within the Waterloo community. A lot of people reached out to me. I want to say like over 150 people reached out to me about that video. So that was crazy. Like my phone went, like it blew up. Like everyone was just like, oh my god, I can't, like I relate so much. And of course, when there's a lot of highs, there's also a lot of lows, and with that came with a lot of reflection on who I'm trying to be and who I want to represent, because I became that girl that hates Waterloo, and I didn't want to be that girl, because I actually love Waterloo in a lot of ways that were not mentioned in that video, and I got a lot of comments, a lot of mean ones actually. I deleted a lot of them, but it also made me reflect on like my character and my intention, my purpose, and what I'm trying to put out on YouTube. I didn't want that video to be like, oh, I hate Waterloo, Waterloo sucks, but maybe it did come across a little bit that way. And I brought that video back because I think it is really important, and it made me reflect on like the people that were in the same situation, giving the voice of, you know, for those who also felt that way but don't have social media to post about it or talk about it, or, you know, have the courage to start conversation about it. So I brought it back, and I deleted the comments that were mean, but it did make me reflect a lot on who I'm trying to be and who I'm trying to represent, because without Waterloo, I wouldn't have had my co-ops. I wouldn't have had the money to do a huge grad trip, which I'm so thankful for. I wouldn't have met the coolest people ever. Like, my girlfriends are like the best, and even the guys I met, like, they're all super great. So like, Waterloo did more good to me than bad, but in that video I was just so angry and I just wanted to talk about it, and yeah, it just came with a lot of hate, and I was not ready to deal with all that, so I kind of just like did the easiest thing, which was disappear. But I'm glad I brought it back, because I do think it's important, and it's important to have that conversation, but I don't want it to be like Miriam hates Waterloo, Miriam's anti-Waterloo, because I'm not, and I didn't want it to also scare people from coming to the university, but I think it was important to talk about. So that was a little bit of a tangent, but I did want to put that out there because it is really important, and it was part of like my reflection and growth that I did in the last 4 months. So if it did offend you, I'm sorry. I didn't want it to cause harm, but I also stand for what I said, and I also think it's important to talk about mental health and struggling and the toxic side of Waterloo, because not everything is happy. So yeah, 4B I did at home, and do I regret it? A little bit. I do think it should have been a term where I was on school, but I think after my 4A term in Waterloo, I was kind of low-key, like, I don't want to say traumatized because that's a very strong word, but I just did not have any desires to be in Waterloo. Like, I don't know, I just really did not feel like being in Waterloo, and also because of my video, I was honestly a little embarrassed to go on campus and see people and have people know me for that being that girl that hates Waterloo. I know it's like me overthinking, but that was the truth. Like, I did not want to go on campus and see people that I knew. But yeah, I think I also realized that although in the last 4 months I didn't do a lot, I feel like the 8 months prior to that I was doing so much. Like, I was pushing out so much content, I was on co-op, like I was working and pushing out content, hanging out with friends, and then January to April I kind of just did nothing. Like, I just did school, which is something because I finished my last 4 courses of my undergrad, so that's something I should be proud of. But and also regret is something that I'm trying to work on, because I'm trying to see as I wish I did something differently as a lesson so that it doesn't happen next time. And maybe it can be a lesson for you guys too. If you have the option to not do school at home, don't do it. Like, it's not good for your health. Like, being at home all day doesn't really help you be productive anyway. And it just kind of reminded me of COVID times. Like, that's how isolated I was. You know, I did a lot of learnings, I did a lot of growth, and I think God gave me that loneliness to kind of reflect on like the mistakes I made, and you know, the people that I've hurt that I didn't mean to, but I did, and it kind of made me grow in some ways. So I can't say I regret it, but I do feel that I wish I did things differently, and that's regret. But I'm trying to reframe regret now, because I think I've always been the type of person that holds a lot onto the past, and that causes a lot of, like, you know, thoughts and reflections and not the healthiest emotions. But I'm trying to see regret as a lesson. It also made me reflect on something really big. I was at a wedding a month ago for a friend, and we were doing a dance performance for her in front of like 200 people. And I was so nervous, but it made me reflect, like, I'm not nervous to post on TikTok and YouTube in front of hundreds of eyes, but why am I so nervous to do this dance performance in front of like 100, 200 people? And then it made me think, like, social media is not normal. Like, we live in such a digital time where we have so many eyes on us, and like the things that we post is, you know, is being viewed by so many people. And like, it just made me think a lot about social media and being just more intentional with what I post and how I am putting myself out there. But yeah, graduation day was such a special day. I feel like after walking down that stage, it just made me like forget about all my regrets, like the class that I failed, the interview that I failed, the class I didn't take, the specialization I wanted to do that I just didn't have the bandwidth or the time to do, the internships that I didn't take, or, you know, doing the same internship for half my co-ops. Like, I did Apple for 3 terms, and some people were like, why? Like, that's a lazy move? And maybe it is, maybe it's not, but like, all my regrets and all my decisions I should have thought of, I could have done, just kind of passed away. And it also made me think, like, I could have done this on my own time. Like, I feel like there's a lot of pressure of finishing 5 years, doing your 8 school terms, 6 co-op terms in 5 years. But a lot of my friends didn't graduate with us, and that's okay. Like, was anyone judging them? No. You know, like, no one cares. At the end of the day, we're getting the same piece of paper. So like, if you're in this situation where you're failing class, or you're really miserable and you're considering taking a term off, do it. Like, no one cares. Like, no one really cares. At the end of the day, you're going to graduate. Like, if I did it, so can you. So another thing is, be nice to everyone, because Waterloo is a lot bigger than you think. So keep that in mind when you're meeting someone new for the first time, and, you know, just be nice to everyone, because I think that's what I realized in California is, like, Waterloo's so huge. Like, everyone knows about it, and people are connected in very mysterious ways. To add on to graduation day, I honestly did not feel sad. And I felt more sad that I was leaving my friends and like we're all moving to different places, but I wasn't sad for leaving Waterloo itself. And I think that's because Waterloo never felt like home to me. And that's a really sad feeling or thought to have. But it really didn't feel like home. Like, I felt like my internships felt more like home, even though I was there for a shorter period of time. But I feel like I was always so happy on co-op terms, but I was so sad and miserable on school terms. And I think the people of course brought me up, but there were some terms that were really, really rough. My last 2 terms specifically, even though I thought my last 2 terms would be the chillest, because like there's less pressure because you're taking the classes that you want. But in some terms there was more pressure, because like you had to figure out the things that you wanted to do, what you're really passionate about, getting co-ops that you actually really cared about. But yeah, I guess Waterloo never really felt like home, and that's okay, because I'm hopeful that somewhere will feel more like home. But yeah, I'm glad that I got to document my 5 years at Waterloo. I do think every term I was a little different. I learned something new. I went through a different challenge, a different obstacle, new friends, new, some type of challenge was presented. Yeah, I also think that it's okay to change and that it's okay to be different every 4 months and like learn something new. I tried to put on the hijab and that failed. And I know like it was a little bit of a roller coaster with that. And it's okay because everyone's on their different spiritual journey. Maybe in the future I'll put it back on. I don't know. Like, I really don't know what the future holds, but I did want to mention that in this video because it was part of my struggles in the last 4 months as well. With also posting, I didn't know if I want to keep it on, take it off, all that. And also that brings me to another point which was really important in my healing era, is that nothing is permanent. No feeling, no moment, no decision, nothing is permanent. This world is so temporary. So if you're stuck in a bad situation or if you're in a bad time right now, know that things will get better. Nothing is permanent. And just remember that you're living through some of your prayers right now, so always keep that in mind. I always try to I try to remind myself that when I'm going through hard times, like things will work out in one way or another, and if I did it, so can you. You can graduate. And I think like a question I've been getting asked a lot is like, what's next for me? I'm unemployed for another 2 months, so I am kind of nervous about this because I'm not good with no routine, no plans. But I'm also a little excited because I know I can like really relax and spend time. I also am huge into matcha. I have a matcha Instagram, Matcha by Miriam. I'll plug it right here. This has been my huge, big hobby. I've been making matcha every day. I've been on my matcha grind. I love matcha. So yeah, I'm gonna continue this, and I'm moving out in 2 months. I'm going back to California, but somewhere new this time. So I'm excited. I'm excited about the future. And honestly, that feels weird to say because I haven't said that in a long time. Like, I'm just excited about the future. I'm really nervous, but I'm excited. I think it's gonna be a new chapter, a new era, and I'm excited for the people I'm gonna meet, the experiences I'm gonna have, and I don't know. I'm excited. But yeah, and I'm also very thankful. So yeah, thank you. As a Waterloo alumni, thank you for watching my videos, allowing me to have the space that I needed and not being consistent with this channel, but still getting a lot of love and appreciation. Thank you for following along in my long ass 5 years journey. I hope it helped you, and I hope I could give back to the Waterloo community and make you proud in some ways. And dear Waterloo, thank you so much for the pain, the struggle, the challenges, the friendships, the hard-ass courses, the grind to find co-op. It built character, like it really did. I do feel stronger than I did when I first entered university. But yeah, thank you so much. I hope I made you proud, Waterloo, and I hope that I continue to give back to the community in some ways. But until my next video, peace.